We're tackling a spicy question today. Can anyone sing, or is it just talent? The answer is, of course, complicated, but maybe not in the way that you think. Real talk, guys. I'm not here to give you a Disney answer, but I'm also not here to crush your dreams. I want to explain what talent is and why it is not the end-all answer to being able to sing. Let's tackle some common misconceptions around singing and talent. Stuff like great singers are born with it, or they just opened their mouth and magic came out, or the alternative, I just don't have the voice for it, or I missed the window, it's too late for me. So you have these two parties, and people might think that they're very different, fundamentally even so, but the only thing that separates them is time spent singing, or you could say working on their craft. It's easy to mistake someone who just gets up on stage and sings incredibly to just be so talented where you are not. But obviously what we don't see is the amount of work that went into making that happen. They were probably warmed up, they have practiced a ton, they've probably taken lessons. There's all kinds of things that go into crafting talent. All to say, you can get there too with time and practice. So, what makes a voice sound good? In my opinion, there are a bunch of things that people in general think make a voice sound good, and then I have a separate list that I have found to be more true. Let's dive in. Here are a couple of things people think are important for a voice to sound good. Stuff like pitch awareness, breath coordination, vowel consistency. For the record, all of these things do impact how you sing and should at some point be worked on. But I think it's actually possible to sound great without having actively worked on any of these things. Some of it might be instinctively just being good at it, but some of it in reality, in this day and age, doesn't really matter as much. But here are the things that I actually think make a voice sound amazing. First, intentionality. There is a huge difference between somebody who knows exactly what they want to do and somebody who's just opening their mouth and letting sound come out. You can have any sort of voice, raspy, breathy, anything. If you're using it with intention, people will love it despite the flaws. Second, control. Now some might say, well, control is just a big word for technique, which is true, but control implies that whatever it is that you're doing, you know how to do. It does not imply that you need to have known every single technique ever taught to every vocalist in order to be able to sing. So you might be good at one very specific thing, and so your control at that one very specific thing is great. Couple that with intentionality, and you can sing and sound amazing without ever having had a technique lesson, without anything else. Those two things together are a powerful combination. You do not need to worry about anything else. In my opinion, that is what makes a voice sound good, which is the original question we were pursuing. And then finally, experience. The more you do it, the better you get at it. The easier it comes. Obviously, that's kind of a duh, but weirdly, it does not always come up. Experience can make up for a lot of other qualities that some singers might consider more important. The good news, most of what's on my list, you don't even have to go to a teacher to learn. The control bit, that's a little iffy. You'll definitely get further faster with a mentor, with a guide, but whatever it is that you're doing, if you do a lot of it again and again, you will naturally get better at that. And that in and of itself is control. So I stand by my words. You don't need a teacher or private instructor to get your voice sounding good. All right, we've established singing is not witchcraft, not some magic skill some people are born with. It's hard work. What does that mean? Well, technically, singing is really an act of coordination between your breath, your vocal folds, resonance, and your ears. It's the act of trying to control a whole lot of things that are happening at the same time and adjusting as you're going. Believe it or not, you actually already do this for a whole bunch of other things. Things like writing by hand, riding a bike, even swimming require all kinds of physical coordination. The perhaps biggest difference between singing and a lot of the things I just listed is that most of singing happens inside of you. You have no way of checking what you're doing, looking at it, and adjusting it. You can only go by what it feels like. And that can be tough. But that can actually also be fun because it gives you the most room for exploration. Let's try a little test just along those lines. First, I'm going to sing a pitch and you try and match it. That's some ear-voice coordination right there. Ha. See whether you can identify the pitch. Try and sing it as well. If you're a guy and this is way too high for you, totally sing the note lower. Just try and hear the note and see whether you can reproduce it. Part 2 of that is then to see whether you can hold it as well. That's an additional level of control. Then I'm just gonna hum and you hum. Feel all that sensation? That's resonance working, another element we were talking about just now. Here's another one. Just sigh gently. That's another way of tapping into resonance and obviously activating everything else. And then here's a slightly different experiment. I'm gonna say a phrase plainly first and then musical. My dog loves to eat cheese. That's plain, obviously. Here's a musical version. My dog loves to eat cheese. It's not quite sung, but just about almost there. Spoken sung. If you can do these 4 things we just played around with, you already have the building blocks to sing. So, if singing is just coordination, what is talent? In this instance, I would say that talent is the natural ability to coordinate your various vocal systems. So rather than having to go to someone to learn how to do it, you just instinctively figure it out. So people who are naturally talented just have a smoother coordination between breath, vocal folds, resonance, and ears. What are those things? Well, breath obviously is airflow control. The ability to control your breathing and ensure that you don't run out of breath too quickly, or that you at least run out of breath in the right moment. Your vocal folds. In essence, it's that part of your throat that generates sound. I'm going to send you down other YouTube video rabbit holes to learn more about that. I'm not going to teach you what they are or how they work, because that's an anatomy lesson and we'd be here all day. Resonance is essentially tone shaping. It's where your sound goes after you first generate it, but before it leaves your mouth. I know, sounds whack. Your ears, obviously, you're checking how you sound, you're checking your pitch. There's so many things that your ears are constantly monitoring and feeding back so that you make micro adjustments as you're singing. People who naturally have smoother coordination between all of these elements, they just figured out things earlier than others, and sometimes without even realizing it. That's a lot to take in one go, so I'm going to give you some concrete examples. Sunrise, sunrise, looks like morning in the sky, but the clock said 9:50, 4 hours. There were a couple of things that I would work on for that take. Breathing was off, did not have enough air, was being inaccurate with my pitches, was using a very condensed tone, practically no resonance whatsoever, and definitely felt like I was struggling a bit. There was no connection to the phrase, definitely no story. It's just somebody singing pitches. Here's an alternative version where we fixed all of that. Sunrise, sunrise, looks like morning in your eyes, but the clock's at 9:15, 4 hours. Hear the difference? Not 2 different singers, just 2 different levels of coordination. Or you could call it execution. Here's a different example. Tense versus relaxed. Very squeezed, very tense with my throat. Let's go easier. That was much easier on the voice. And now, with an additional supported breath. Again, this is just about execution, how you're making your different systems work together. The first one lived just here, send it here, straight here, no support, very little breath, very tense. The second one, we opened up a little bit, we relaxed, but we still didn't have full body support for that one. And then the third one, sat up straighter, took a deeper breath, gave it full support. Finally, I'm going to give you a more monotonous line and a more melodically shaped one. We'll use the same song from before, which is Sunrise by Norah Jones. Sunrise, sunrise, looks like morning in your eyes, but the clock's at 9:15, 4 hours. That's pretty flat, practically no expression, just singing the notes and words. Here's the contrast. Sunrise, sunrise, looks like morning in your eyes, but the clock's at 9:15, 4 hours. There's vibrato, there's a shaky breath on purpose, there's dynamics, we're holding notes, we're letting them fade out. All of these are different ways of musically expressing. Now you can say that's talent, but in reality it's mostly just a skill. You learn how to do it, you practice it, and then it's yours. So when you hear a singer and you're thinking, oh my gosh, wow, they're so talented, just remember, you're hearing a really smooth coordination, and you can develop that too. So, back to the original question. Can anyone sing? Yes, mostly. I think there's a small subset of people where we'll have to make an exception, but here's my breakdown. Most people fall into this wide middle section. They're not inherently naturally gifted with all of the skills, but with a little bit of work, they will see massive differences. Then you got the fast learners, and I count the naturally gifted as a part of that. You got those in every discipline, people who are just naturally good at something and everything comes easy to them, or so it seems. Then of course, you got the slow and steady group. They will often end up with more intentionality and better technique because they really had to work to figure it all out. And then, as mentioned before, the extremely rare exceptions. There are a small number of people with neurological auditory processing challenges that make pitch matching unusually difficult. There are also some people with physiological conditions that limit the ability of their voices. All of these things exist. In most cases, some improvement is possible, but odds are some things are limited for them. Ultimately, talent, which we have defined as the natural ability to coordinate your vocal systems, gives you a head start. Training gets you the rest of the way. And consistency is what will make you unstoppable. So, what do you do with all of this information? Well, here are a couple of things I want you to take away from this. First, anyone can improve massively. If you don't like how your voice sounds right now, that's okay. Who knows what it might sound like in 3 months after you've put the work in. 2, you are not born with a voice that is fixed and static. It's a coordination system, and it changes with awareness. 3, most barriers are emotional, not technical. Your voice will improve the moment you allow it to be imperfect. 4, skills are results, not magic. Singing is not just a gift somebody got unearned. It's a skill, disguised as a gift perhaps. So what can you do to get started? Start with very basic vocal exercises just to get your voice used to being used like that. Things like humming, lip trills, and so on. Easy sirens, and obviously just sing songs, but start to sing them maybe with more intention, with more thought going into what it is you're actually doing, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to say. If you want a more detailed instruction on some very basic vocal exercises, check out this video. If you feel that this video gave you permission to explore your voice, stick around. This whole channel exists to help you build technique and learn to sing without losing your vocal identity. And if you want some extra tools to get started, I have my beginner-friendly warm-up guide in the description below. I'm Lydia Reynolds, and I'm so excited you decided to engage with this topic because it's very dear to me. I would love to hear your thoughts on the topic in the comments below. And if all of this resonates with you, like and subscribe.